How's it going, guys? Mick here with another YouTube video, and I am glad to be back. On top of that, I hope everybody is doing well, staying healthy. I hope you've all had an amazing week, and I thank you again for selecting one of my videos. Today in this video, we're going to be discussing Highguard. This is an anticipated title, so to speak, that's coming out, a hero raid shooter, and it's the one that was revealed at the end of the game rewards that we have touched on the channel before. Like I said, I hope everybody is doing well and amazing. And before we get into the video, I would like to quickly thank these guys that commented on my previous video. Big shout out especially to Jackster and Stocky, as you can see on screen. You know, leaving comments like this and nice comments to people, especially little small channels like myself, it really does mean a lot. You know, and just taking the time out of your day to watch smaller creators and watch small time videos and see what people are up to and what people are creating. And then obviously like these guys leaving nice comments, it just means the world. So thanks again to these boys. Okay, getting into it then, let's talk about Highguard. Now, Highguard, for reference to anybody, is the new hero slash raid shooter that is coming out.
You can't keep getting away with it!
Okay, who's making this game then? It's going to be Wildlight Entertainment. This is going to be their debut title. Wildlight Entertainment is a development team that is culminated from people that made Apex Legends and Titanfall, different developers from different studios that helped out make these games. These guys are going to be veterans in the development scene. You know, these guys have made games before, they've made hits before, and obviously, you know, they are planning to make this another great title, despite what people have been saying online. To go into more detail then, we're looking at 61x Respawn devs. That's if anyone's fans of Apex Legends, or if anyone is a fan of Apex Legends, I should say. We're also looking at Titanfall devs, which will also, you know, find their way into Apex as well. A lot of those developers did. And there's going to be some Call of Duty vets.
I'm so sick of this company.
Now, importantly, one that a lot of people leave out that I will mention is we're looking at some people also who worked on Concord.
Oh, no.
Now, judging by the art style and the scenario and the game type, you can see that these guys that came from Concord obviously had a big voice in the meeting rooms for some reason, but this is going to look a lot like Concord, or at least what it did at release. Now, Highguard is set to be a free-to-play shooter. That's just what we've seen before in, you know, hero shooters like Overwatch and Marvel Rivals. They do that free-to-play kind of system. How they're going to make their money and income then is obviously going to be through cosmetics, battle passes, in-game currencies. We've seen it before, we've had it before, and a lot of people just do not like this. Now, I do understand that these development companies do have to make money, especially when they make a video game. You know, making a video game is not easy work, but this whole free-to-play system and in-game currencies and buy this, buy that, it's getting old, it's getting used, and it just takes the life out of video games. Things like we've seen before with live service titles, or so to speak live service titles, is Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders was, so to set, be a free-to-play shooter. You know, it was going to be that free-to-play system. But in the end, they opted just to go with a paid title. Now, what does that do? It means there's more life in your game. There's less of that cosmetics and adverts that are in your face every time you hit a menu. It reduces the amount of cheaters because it costs $30 or £30 or whatever it is to make a new account. Going that paid route, even if it is at a discounted price compared to what games are priced at nowadays, this is always the better option. You know, doing this whole free-to-play cosmetic system, hero shooter stuff, that, you know, this has been done and done and done. You know, they are putting themselves at risk here with this whole system. Now, as everybody knows, the Highguard development team and the Highguard marketing team have gone radio silent since that last final reveal that they showed at the Game Awards.
Where the fuck is everyone?
We're going to see different characters, different weapons, different abilities, all kind of going for that one match gameplay cycle of completing an objective and beating the other team. It is a competitive shooter. You know, the best way to compare this to would be like Marvel Rivals or Overwatch, like I've spoke before. You know, it's that kind of scene. That's what we're looking at here. Now, in terms of the reveal itself, Highguard, like I said before, was released at the Game Awards in 2025, or it was revealed then. Now, this wouldn't be an issue normally because, you know, it is a hero shooter. It's a new video game. It's a new studio from people that we know, and they are making a hero shooter, and so be it. People like them games, people like that genre. Me, myself, personally, I enjoy Marvel Rivals, I enjoy Overwatch. I wouldn't play it every day, but hero shooters do have that fun gameplay cycle. You know, jumping in with toxic teammates and trying to capture a point, that is always fun sometimes.
Somebody else in the lobby? No?
Dog shit.
So-
It's Spider-Man's fault. So our Venom is 2 and 3. It's Spider-Man's.
But the point I'm trying to make in the issue with this Game Awards situation is Jeff Keighley put this game at the very end. end. Now, putting this game at the very end was obviously going to go wrong for these guys, and as you can see from the public outcry and people's reactions on Twitter and such, this was a bad decision by Jeff. The public's issue on gamers in general with this game was that it's a reused, rehashed hero shooter with a bunch of abilities, a bunch of characters, and also a battle pass and cosmetics, stuff we've seen before time and time again. Now, while it's going to copy Concord with those abilities, characters, and all that good stuff, the issue was the segment selected. So the biggest problem with this being at the end of the Gaming Awards, they hyped it too much. There was way too much hype. Jeff was talking about this game like it was a revolutionary title.
Years and years away, but not tonight. Our final world premiere comes from 61 members of the team that built Apex Legends and Titanfall. 4 years ago, the principals founded a new independent studio with the hopes of pushing the shooter genre forward with a new original game. They've done it in complete secrecy, which is even more amazing because the game is very deep into development. The power of independent, self-published studios to push this medium forward is a growing and I think positive theme in our industry.
This guy was talking about this game like it was going to be a Skyrim or a Red Dead Redemption 2, and then after all those talks and after all the words spoken, he shows the most bland hero shooter possible. To put this game in front of something like Divinity, a Larian Studios title, at the same awards was just heartbreaking. It didn't make any sense at all. The Highguard marketing team of the guys did come out and say that Jeff did this on his own accord. They did not ask him for the final slot, and he did this because he really liked the game. Now, to me, that is kind of suspicious. Like, a guy like Jeff Keighley, do I really think that he thought Highguard was going to be that good? Did he really get that excited about Highguard? Is he that interested in hero shooters that he would fill the final slot with these guys? There's also a conversation to be had that maybe he was so annoyed and so disgusted by this new hero shooter that he wanted to ruin it as hard as possible, so he put it at the end. But who knows what his motives were, but at the end of the day, this was a bad decision. So just over on X here, we have a tweet from Mrmickk. This is straight from him. He's talking about Highguard and basically the whole situation surrounding it. Nick says, Highguard is one of the strangest marketing campaigns for a game that I have ever seen. It ended with the Game Awards with its reveal trailer. Absolute zero marketing since then, and it launches in 3 days. Now, I believe this tweet is of today, January 22. So that was actually yesterday. So the reason I'm looking at this tweet in particular is because Highguard has had zero marketing, no tweets, no responses, no reveals. The only thing that we have seen is that reveal trailer that we did see in the Game Awards at the very end, which was big time misplaced in my opinion. Regardless of that though, the point I am trying to make here is that this is the best possible option for the Highguard guys and the Highguard title itself. Because of that really poor response and the community really hating on it, and that whole reveal trailer really turning everybody's stomachs, and the outcries on Twitter that you've seen about people comparing it to Concord, this is their best option. Because in my opinion, if they kept releasing gameplay and they kept releasing teasers and talking about the game, the hate train that had already initiated at those awards, that would just snowball and kind of just take everything that they released and add it on to that hate. It would just snowball down and everything would get, categorized together, so to speak. So this is the best option for these guys, to have no more talk, kind of let all that stuff simmer down while people are, talking about why there's no information, why there's no reveals. The hate is simmering. Now, like I said, this is their best possible option. They want that to simmer down, and in my opinion, this is going to make the gameplay seem better. Because that hate has kind of all been culminated into that one reveal, into that one scenario, anything else after that is just going to be fresh eyes. So when we do get this gameplay, we aren't going to be as motivated by the hate as much as we would be. So I do think this is their best option. I do think they're going to let the gameplay speak for itself rather than start giving people more information to pick apart and compare to Concord. I am going to give my personal prediction, and it is going to be quite an outlier opinion, so to speak. I think this game's going to be good for some reason. Now let me explain that point. I think even though it's a hero shooter and it's all been done and dusted before and everybody's kind of sick and tired of them, I think this one's going to be good in terms of hero shooters itself. I think these guys are talented, and I think we're going to be surprised by the gameplay.
Bro, what are you talking about, man?
Now, I know most people listening to that are going to go, what is this idiot even talking about? Like, this is going to be Concord trash. But there's just some part of me that does believe we're going to be surprised, and I hope we are. But at the end of the day, I might be wrong, and I probably will be wrong, and we'll just have to deal with it when the game does finally release. So where does Highguard stand now in its release date? It is going to be set to release on the 26th, which is 3 days from the upload of this video. Now, with the no marketing, radio silence, everybody shutting up, know, there is that rumor, is this game even going to release, or are we going to see a delay tweet come in the next couple days? I think it is going to release now. As I said before in the video, I do think that these guys being quiet and just shutting the up in general is a marketing decision. I think if you look at anything like internet drama or press situations, even video game releases in the past, the best possible option for most people in these scenarios is just being quiet and just stop talking. The internet forgets, the internet gets bored, you know, the internet has a low attention span, like myself. But it is important to notice that this is probably a decision from these guys, and a good decision in my opinion. Now, like we've discussed, the development team is going to be ex-Titanfall, ex-Apex, ex-COD guys all coming together to create this new development studio. Now, on paper, that sounds amazing. I am going to play this game. Like I said, I have enjoyed hero shooters in the past. They're not my style or my main game kind of genre, but I do enjoy them for sure. So with these development guys coming in and with their experiences and what they've developed in the past, I definitely am excited to see this game. You know, with all the hate and stuff on Twitter and people comparing it to Concord and all the memes and such, if we're all being serious and being adults, you know, at the end of the day, I do want to play and see what this game is like, because you never know. We're not going to truly know if this game is bad or not until we get hands-on and play it. And if it is terrible and if it is another Concord, then so be it. We won't play it anymore and we'll move on. You know, gameplay trailers and the reveals can all say one thing, but at the end of the day, we need to get hands-on, play the game, and make a real, you know, decision for ourselves over time. Listen, at the end of the day, I do think the hate train and the public opinion of this game was all due to this situation. I do think it was due to when it was released at that Game Awards show. Now, on top of that, I do understand the opinions of people when they say that another bland hero shooter, another bland free-to-play, cosmetics, all that battle pass bullshit. Yes, I agree. I'm also a hater of it myself. And if anyone's watched the channel before, you do know that when it comes to microtransactions and milking everybody for money off one title is a big issue for me. I do get that. But like I said before, we do just have to see what the game looks like in 3 days. And if it is really bad, then we can all have a laugh about it. But these guys being quiet and staying radio silent, not showing us anything more, is going to allow their gameplay to speak for itself more than it would had they kept the marketing going. In terms of that, that's going to be all from me from this video and all from me regarding Highguard. I am looking forward to playing it because, you know, at the end of the day, I like playing new titles. I like seeing new things. And with a development team like this and some of the experiences that these guys have, it's going to be interesting to see for sure. If you do like this video, or you are feeling charitable to a small channel like myself making videos as a hobby, please just leave a like on your way out. It costs you nothing and I do appreciate every single one. But other than that, guys, thanks again for watching. If you made it all the way to the end of the video, that's going to be it for me for now. I am going to bounce. Again, thanks so much and I'll see you in the next one.